Yay! Okay, hi. Um, those of you who are here probably know that we had our first single go live at midnight, Cycle. Have y'all heard it? What do you think? You can hear us. Yay. Okay, good. Did you hear Cycle? Do you have questions? Garrett and I are just going to chat about it for a few minutes, and if y'all have questions, throw them in, and we'll do our best to integrate what you're wanting to say, share, ask. How do you feel?
Tired. Yeah. but happy to have a song out in the world finally.
Yeah.
It's been a long time coming. No, well, not this song necessarily, but having a song out from this project, it's taken a while to get it off the ground, and it feels good that people finally get to hear it and satiate their curiosity about what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, I think some insider trading information about the timeline of releasing any music is that we were holding on to it. We have a lot of music done. The record's almost done. Because I think I was just still like waiting for a knight in white, in shining armor, in white armor, in any armor to kind of come through and take it and launch it for us and promote it for us. And I wanted to, I've released music before and not had a good plan for how to get it out into the world, and I didn't want to do that. And so I was being a little like tight-fisted about it, and had some time away this summer and some time to reflect, and realized it was time, also with some encouragement of other folks, like we need to actually have it out in the world, and it is time, and it is ready, and Cycle specifically is really important. I mean, I think all of our music is. Obviously, I'm biased. I wrote it. But Cycle is important, and I'm a little scared because it's super vulnerable. It's very vulnerable. It's, I've been saying it's like pulling out our guts. It really is. And so it's kind of like, here are our guts, world. What do you think? But I'm hoping that they're connecting with your own guts, and that there's some discovery and some resonance for you and or for your loved ones. And so excited to have those conversations. One thing that's been important to me with Cycle specifically is that it be accompanied with some context around the cycle of abuse, which is what it's about. And I will post the abuse hotline number when I share this out. If someone wants to put that in the chat, you can look it up. There's a website and a hotline number, but if someone who's on will do that, I would appreciate that. But it's important to kind of think about how we keep ourselves and each other safe, and also how we transform the ways that we relate to ourselves and each other as well, because we're all harmed and we all cause harm, and the harm that we're causing it to ourselves and to others is usually from the place of being harmed, and it is this vicious cycle that some way or another we're all caught up in. And I want to be a part of the conversation around what we do about that and how we have honest conversations. And so that's a little bit about where my heart's at. I too am a little sleep deprived for all of the highs and lows, the euphoria and the anxiety of getting ready to launch a song and our music, and having done that, now getting ready to have
like any other live show.
Exactly. Yeah, so we would love to hear what you would like to hear us talk about, and we'll just chit chat for a few minutes. We're in the studio today, which is why you're getting us. This is where we are all the time. Yeah. We're working on a new song. That's how we're celebrating, is just completing another song and continuing to make the music that we love making together, that is really the authentic expression of our insides and the way that they interact with each other. So Thank you for being here. Thank you for being so encouraging. Thank you for being so supportive. Thank you for being such lovely witnesses, and for taking this and making it your own. And there's something really mysterious and miraculous about making music that's not that different from just the ways that we relate to each other. It's like you just don't know your impact. You do your part, you send it out into the world, whether it's putting a song out into the world, whether it's smiling at a stranger, you know, and we don't know the ripple effects of those things. And so it feels really gratifying and encouraging to hear some of the feedback, to hear some of that impact. And also I kind of bow to the mysterious ripple effects that will go out into the world that I will never know about. And I give thanks for those as well. Do you have stuff to say?
Just that we have a question about...
Are we doing a show in LA soon? Hopefully.
Yeah.
Yes, I mean, yes.
No immediate plans,
yeah.
But we're trying to get through this first one before we figure it out.
Yeah, you know, playing your first show when you've never played out before, ever. I mean, we've both played out before, but not as LITTRELL, not with this music. And for me personally, it's been a very long time. It's hard to book anything without having done anything. And so this first show that we have next Friday, the 29th at 7 p.m. Eastern at Patron Saint in downtown Indianapolis. Links in bio. For tickets, please come. It's going to be really good. It's going to be really, really fun. It's also a fundraiser for Girls Rock Indianapolis, and DJ Gabby Love's going to be there. It's going to be fun. It's going to be good. It's going to be meaningful. But, you know, really kind of investing deeply in full focus mode, full presence in this show to make it amazing, I think is going to help us then have a snowball effect where we're able to just start booking in all the cities we want to be in, which is where y'all are. And certainly, of course, if you know me, you know LA is high on the list. Thank you, Aaron. I appreciate you. Okay. Other things we should say. Do you want to hear about the making of Cycle, where it came from? Do you want us to stop chatting and let you talk? Tell us what you'd like to hear before we get back to work.
I feel like we can talk about the making of it.
Yeah.
It was a unique song in the catalog and how it came to be. You wrote it, I don't know, was it all written in one day?
I started it at bedtime. I got it like 90% of the way there, woke up in the morning, finished the last 10%, and ran out the door to come here.
Yeah.
As soon as I finished like the last word, and we started.
Yeah.
That day. Yeah.
And if I remember correctly, it took us probably that day and another day to do most of the production, and then a vocal day or maybe a vocal day and a half or something.
Mm-hmm.
But our general process is, I mean, sometimes we spend 10 days on one song. So to have something happen that fast, usually those are the songs that we're kind of reimagining.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it had some special heat behind it to kind of make it come together that easily.
Mm-hmm.
And I think for both of us it ended up being a favorite, which obviously it's a single, so.
Yeah.
My memory is so bad, so I don't remember exactly what those sessions were like. Maybe you do.
I do. My songwriting is, as you're probably getting a good idea, really just an important part of my therapy. It's just my Dear Diary is where I hear from myself better than anywhere else. It's where my intellect kind of takes a back seat and I can just hear straight from my heart, from my guts, from all my little inner children. They just all get to come out to play when I'm at the piano. And I'd had therapy that day, and I was angsty, as is pretty typical for a therapy day. And I went to the piano as that's what I do, and I'm feeling things that I can't quite grab or understand, and I started messing around, and all of a sudden I heard myself singing and saying and playing what you're hearing when you listen to Cycle. You can imagine I was probably crying all the way through it as I was, because I'd never said those words out loud to myself before. And so to go straight from that, where I'm having a very real-time encounter with myself, and to fall asleep that night, wake up that morning, it's still burning inside of me. And so I finish the song, I take it straight into the studio, and all of a sudden we're bringing it to life. Like, it was very raw and it was very fresh. It was definitely one of the more emotional days in the studio, where it was just like, as we're bringing it to life and adding layer upon layer of sound that like tells the story, that adds the color and the texture to the story. It was, it was a handful of days that I'll never forget, and I'm grateful.
Yeah, as you said that, I did remember. I have one, this is how my memory works, but I had like one moment of where like it must have been right at the end of the day. And I feel like maybe you even did your final vocal, like the first couple vocal passes were the final from the demo. And both of us just kind of exhaling at like, it was a very intense like process. I wouldn't say it was like, it was almost like weirdly lighthearted, I feel like, or like freeing or something. To like, for such a heavy topic to kind of find like, to give voice to it, I think was, I don't know, it seemed like it was liberating for you in a way.
Yeah, I mean, it's less scary when you can see it, and you can touch it, when you can name it. The record that we're working on is called Public Love, and it is, kind of part nods to Cornel West's definition of love, which is that tenderness is what love looks like in private, justice is what love looks like in public. And so it's part nod to him, and of course to Bell Hooks, my beloved luminary, as is, I'm sure she is for so many of you, and all of the attention she devoted to the subject and practice of love. It's also just like flirtatious, slightly exhibitionist wink, because it's me. And it's also like just a tracing of the relationship with myself through the mirror of romantic relationship, because my experience with love and heartbreak has been very public over the course of my whole life since my childhood. And I'm not just talking about my own interpersonal dynamics, but those around me, familial ones, and then those I've gone on to kind of learn through. And I do think that romance and love and relationship of all kinds has been one of my primary teachers. And so we've been working on, like each of these songs is just kind of a moment in time. It's a glimpse. It's just like a sliver of the story. And I'm experiencing myself through these different fractals, like these different, like you take the prism and you kind of turn it and the light hits it a different way and you see something different. And so I'm constantly discovering myself both through relationship, I think we all are, all kinds of relationship, and through my songwriting. And so to have been working on a lot of the different kind of like fractal perspectives of myself and my journey through other songs we'd been working on, for this one to come, it was like, oh, okay. Like I'm starting to see all of this in through a different light, and it doesn't make the other versions not true. There are many truths, but this is a part of it, and it was important for me, and it continues to be important for me to wrestle with. And I know I'm not alone, and so I'm willing to be naked and put this out there, because I know I'm not alone, and I know it's important for all of us to be wrestling through this together and loving ourselves and each other through this together.
Yeah.
just a lighthearted conversation. But it was simultaneously, you're right, a lighthearted day. Like, it was heavy, but it wasn't heavy between us. It was like we were just like in it, and it just like there was some joy. There was joy.
Flow.
Yeah, we were in flow state, and that's, you know, this, you're in my happy place right now with us. There's nothing like being here, and, you know, like, there's nothing like being at the piano and having a song flow through me and it comes out, and Garrett's also an amazing songwriter and you know, can speak to his own experience, but, you know, there's nothing like that initial sonogram, if you will, of the experience. It's like, okay, wow, yeah, but then to get into the studio and begin producing it out, and for it to start taking shape, and, you know, for there to be the flesh and that goes with the bone. I just really botched that metaphor, but you know what I'm saying. it is its own profound joy. And then I would say beyond that, then getting with other musicians as we're preparing for the 29th. We have in our band Steve Bradley on drums, Jay Druba on bass, and Scott Swingo on second guitar, and they're amazing. And being in a room full of additional folks who are taking it and making it their own, and you know, like, adding their own energy to it is a profound joy. And then when we get to be out live with y'all in the same room and to have that energy flowing between us, I'm really nervous and super excited. Oh, did I pause it? Okay, no. I don't know what I did.
You put it in low power mode.
Okay. The band LITTRELL folks, we may disappear on you. Hopefully we won't. Questions, comments, reflections, anything y'all want to share back with us before we get back to work? We're glad you're here. All right. Any final for today, final for now?
Just thanks for listening, checking it out.
Yeah.
Please come to the show.
Oh, I'll get the flyer. Show the flyer.
We've been rehearsing for 4 weeks or something now, so probably longer than that, 5 weeks.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, and everything that you do, you know, to support us, really, we really appreciate it. You listening, you saving the song, you adding it to playlists, you sharing it on social media or face-to-face with people that you know, coming to our show. We're going to have merch at the show. I will soon put it up on our website as well. The website is thisislittrell.com. You can head over there for other glimpses of things. Also, if you want to download the song, if you want to have it be your own, you can go to Patreon and join us on Patreon. We love y'all. By the way, we've got, I think, 24 folks right now over on our Patreon. And every week I'm telling all the stuff. I'm pouring my heart out. I'm giving updates. We're sharing pretty extensive behind the scenes videos, and giving early access to music and perks, free stuff. So join us on Patreon.
There was an alternate version of a song, right?
That's true. Yeah. Which one was that? Was that Firefighter?
Firefighter.
Yeah, and we also gave them a little glimpse of an acoustic version of Cycle as well.
Oh yeah. That
was just us messing around at the end of the day in the studio, but yeah, we're working on a lot, and so we're just getting started, and we're glad you're here with us. Thank you. All right. Have a good afternoon or a good day if you're on the West Coast. Bye.